All right.
You were on time, my friend.
Hey, that's good. That's good. So, Tom Keifer, man, how's it going with you? In the land of rock and roll and all that good stuff.
Good, really good. Looking forward to getting back out on the road this year and releasing some more songs off the solo record. So
Now, this solo record, The Way Life Goes, incredible comeback, and I'm glad to hear your voice is still very strong. What do you think of it, going into it, with such a great, voice still?
what, the voice?
Yeah, your voice is still so strong.
Well, I had a lot of problems for years, and I had to retrain it because I lost it completely due to a paralysis of my left vocal cord. So I learned a lot from that training, but there were a lot of years where it wasn't all that great. But you live and you learn, and you get through things. So I'm just glad that I'm still able to sing.
Now, something too, I mean, you're doing some great promo videos as well. Where do you decide, to say like Solid Ground's a single and the Flower Song when you got so much great songs on this album? How do you decipher what's the single for the album?
That's usually a group effort. We have conversations between myself and my record label and management, and usually the label talks it over with a lot of their radio promo people. So it's usually like a consensus, a group effort on that.
How easy it is to make a video now, probably compared to your days in Cinderella, back in the good old days.
To make a video, well, it's still the same process. You hire a director and get, work out a concept, and the one for Solid Ground came fairly easily because the director just showed up and shot a live show, and that was really just about kind of capturing the night in that venue, which he did a very good job of. So there's not a lot of creative input that goes into that. The Flower Song was different than that. That was a concept video, and actually my wife Savannah wrote that video, the concept for it, and it was a pretty cool one that she came up with, to try and depict the lyrics. So.
And also social media, what do you think of that, and, to promote videos on, the famous social media, Facebook, etc.?
Well, I'm new to social media, and my Facebook and Twitter are only about a year old, and I never really had a Facebook or any of that stuff before, and I'm learning about it. I think it's cool. I enjoy it. It's cool having that direct contact with the fans, and I think it's a great, in terms of marketing, and I think it's a great tool. It's kind of twofold. It gives you that personal connection with the fans and being able to share things with them. But it's also a way to kind of get the word out about different projects or things that you're working on. So,
in a sense, also can drive more new fans. Also, just discovering who you are, stuff.
Well, yeah, I think that there's, a lot with all the retweeting and sharing and all, there's obviously, like a pyramid effect to it where it can filter out into other people who might, like you said, might not even know who you are. So it's a good discovery mechanism, I think.
One thing I'd like to talk to you, in your videos and throughout your career, you got some incredible guitars. How long have you been collecting?
I started right after our first record took off because I had money then. So I remember getting on a plane and flying down to the Dallas Vintage Guitar Show and buying like a 59 Burst and a early 50s Telecaster and a Strat, and just kind of started my collection then. That was like in 86, I think. Yeah, it was the spring of 86, actually, is when I really got the fever.
And like that, do you still have the fever, when you go to, like, let's say a pawn shop or something, if you do, and get something quite interesting?
Yeah, I love guitars. I bought 3 guitars this year, 3 new ones that I really love. I got a Firebird and a Sunburst and a Black Custom, so, I'm always keeping my eye out.
What's your take on, amplifiers and simulations and stuff like that now, coming out, versus what there was in the 90s and 80s?
Well, that technology is just getting insanely good. The modeling, the digital modeling of amplifiers and stuff. There's some just amazing. Fender's making some cool stuff, and Yamaha, I got this little practice amp. I forget what the model number is. It actually looks like a little space heater. It's got a glowing light on the front, and It's pretty small. It's about the size of a lunchbox, really, and you plug into it, and it just sounds amazing. I was actually just doing some recording with it the other day. It's got, like preset digital models of different sounds, and it's incredible sounding, really. The very first, line 6, I used like in '98 on a tour.
Really?
I checked those out, and I thought those were really cool. And a couple of their combos, and was running them through Marshall 4x12 cabs, and those sounded really good even back then,
And Tom, what are you playing on the way life goes, for amps and stuff?
I have my old Marshall Super Leads. You mean on the road or on the record?
On the record.
The old 100-watt Super Leads, the early '70s ones, what I used, and those are the amps I've always used in the studio and live for the most part. I use them on this tour too. They're my favorites.
Going to inspiration in writing songs, and lyrics. Where do you get your inspirations from, and the influences?
Well, it's just life, It comes from life. I was raised on bands and musicians and songwriters in the the late '60s and the '70s that were all inspired by American roots music. So you're talking blues and country and gospel and R&B, and all that music was really down to earth and real, and about real things and real emotions and good times and bad times and overcoming challenges in life and falling in love and falling out of love, and those kind of emotions are things you can always write about, and people will relate to them, and it's amazing that there's always a new way to write about them too. So that was my early influence and inspiration as a musician and songwriter. So I kind of carried on that tradition of that, American roots inspired rock. So it's what I still do. So that's really where my inspiration comes from, is life and real things.
And also in the future, you plan to make another solo album as well?
We'll see. I mean, I just take things one day at a time, and we're just getting started on this one, really. We're going to be touring all year and releasing more singles this year, so too. I certainly would like to, but I don't think that far in advance. So, enjoying this one. So long to make. It's like the thought of making another one at the moment is, I don't even want to think about it. So.
Of course. And Tom, this summer you're planning to play lots of shows?
This year?
Yes.
Yes.
North America?
Definitely. We're going to start here in America, and we hope to get out of the country. We'll see.
Well, Tom, I really appreciate you taking the time, to talk to me. We got some hectic schedules, I know, and keep up the great work, and the way life goes. Excellent product.
Thank you, my friend, and thanks for talking to me today, and I appreciate your support of the record, and you have a great day.
You as well. Have a great weekend, and
you too.
Okay.
Thank you.